Yo, what's up guys, it's ApTreX here, and finally we have one of the best news I have heard so far because Sudachi Nintendo Switch Emulator for Android devices is finally back. Yep guys, we have some brand new updates of Sudachi Emulator that we'll be taking a look at in today's video. Well, if you guys don't already know, I crowned Sudachi Emulator as the best Nintendo Switch emulator for Android devices of 2024 in my top 10 video, but unfortunately as the project was completely stopped, I was unsure about its position. Well, the main developer has made a comeback on the official Sudachi Emulator GitHub page. You guys will be able to see the version 1.0.9 has been released of this emulator, and in today's video we'll be setting it up, trying out the best settings, what's new and much more. So before getting started, please hit that like button, subscribe, turn on all notification. Well, in terms of Android updates in version 1.0.9, added an additional page to the setup flow and button to the settings page, allowing user to select title. Now this is very important because of the lack of this section right here. Yuzu Emulator was officially taken down. I'm unsure about Sudachi Emulator, but right now the developer has released its new update on its official GitHub page, so I think we can try it out. We also got the version 1.0.8 which was released 3 days ago, improved memory accuracy and sizing. Well guys, another thing that has changed with this update, so if we just go and scroll down, you'll be able to see I have two Sudachi emulators on my Android device. This one is the old version and this is the brand new version. So they have different package name and they also have different logos. Anyways, once you add the latest version of Sudachi Emulator, by the way this is 100% official version, no fork version, this is from the main developer of Sudachi. Let's start setting it up. Right here you will be able to see a brand new section has been added for title.keys, which is very important. Anyways, once you select the correct directories, there we go, it is successfully done. We'll tap on the continue button and our Sudachi Emulator has successfully started. Now in this update, we'll see if there are any performance improvements because we'll be testing out few games like Let's Go Pikachu and Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Trilogy. There is an option to get early access. I think this version of Sudachi Emulator is the fork version of normal Yuzu Emulator. Anyways, we'll go to advanced settings where limit speed percentage we'll set it to 400%. In terms of graphics resolution, we'll keep it as default at 1x graphics resolution. We have FSR sharpness as well as aspect ratio set it as stretch to fit. We'll turn on force maximum clocks and asynchronous shaders. In terms of debug, native code execution is selected as CPU backend. Once that has been done, we'll select GPU driver. For today's video, we'll be using the latest Mesa Turnip driver revision 9 version 2. So this is the current latest graphics driver that is available. Anyways, now that we are done with the Sudachi Emulator setup and best settings, let's start off by testing out our first game, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Trilogy. Now, Sudachi Emulator has really performed well in most of the scenarios compared to the Suyu Emulator. When I tested out many games like even Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Sudachi was always the base for folk versions like New Shoe, etc. Anyways, let me just go ahead and skip this cutscene and see how well does this game work on our Android devices. Immediately, you'll also notice the FPS bar at the top left corner, and this is not a gimmicky Nintendo Switch emulator. All the settings that are shown in this emulator are completely functional, and unfortunately always guys, I'm not really sure why, but in Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 3, at least in Trilogy, the game always freezes when I am choosing the map, and this is the bug with Sudachi Emulator. I tried this game out on Pine Emulator, it works perfectly fine. Anyways guys, let's keep Naruto aside and try out our next game, which is going to be Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. Also, do let me know in the comment section down below which more games should I test out inside this Sudachi Emulator. By the way, I have imported a save file in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. Well, with that being said, let's tap the A button and continue our adventure. So here we go, the game has successfully started, and you guys will be able to see at the top left corner we are getting around 60 FPS, which is not bad at all. Well, I have seen some emulators give me like 144 FPS. So obviously those were Antutu versions of Nintendo Switch emulators, which means they were masked as a benchmarking app which made my Android device heat up very quickly. But this is a non-Antutu build, so the performance which we are getting is pretty stable and smooth. Well, in outside world areas, there is a bug with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. It is the worst game to test out in Sudachi Emulator or even Suyu Emulator. The FPS is always bad compared to Pine Emulator, compared to Against, etc. But comparatively with the previous version of Sudachi Emulator, I am seeing a bit of improvement. Like I remember getting about 20 FPS or even 22 FPS when I tested this game out in the old version of Sudachi Emulator. Alright guys, the next game that we'll be trying out is going to be Pokemon Legends Arceus. I wanted to test this game out as well because Let's Go Pikachu is very unoptimized and Legends Arceus should work much better compared to the other games, and we are getting almost 50 FPS in the open world areas, and this experience is super smooth. No graphical issues are visible, everything is being rendered properly at 1x graphics resolution. We have not downscaled the graphics resolution because we want the best experience, and yeah, it is working flawlessly. And for those of you guys wondering, I'm using iQOO with Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor and 16GB of RAM. This update was definitely surprising comeback of the Sudachi Emulator, and you will be able to see the game is working perfectly fine on my Android device. So do let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about this brand new update of Sudachi Emulator. I'll see you guys next time though. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.